with Adam Pearson, obviously great YouTuber, Newcastle fan. What are your thoughts of the game today?
Ooh, well, it is going to be a tricky game for both teams. Of course, Arsenal are still trying to win the title. To be brutally honest, I think you probably are out of it now. I think City have got just far too many games left and they're being classed, to be fair. So it's a must-win for Arsenal in the sense that you've got to obviously get the points in and hope that City drop them. But I think it's a tricky one for Newcastle as well, because I think statistically we're 7 points off Champions League football, and I think if we get at least one today, we are looking almost certain to get it. I think this game is so huge just starting after that little run for us. But going into this match, Newcastle, I mean, form-wise, we've been so good at home this season. We've only lost to Liverpool in the entire calendar year, so it's going to be a tricky one for Arsenal. I'm sure you and all the Arsenal fans remember last season. Obviously, that one for us was a big one, and I think going into this one, I'm nervous, but I do back us, I really do back us. I think it's St James's part of the fans to be up for it. The players, I think we've got the large majority of our players that they got any injuries at all. So on paper, I think Newcastle are looking to at least get a point today, and I'm going to back us to get all three. So hopefully, fingers crossed for us, Newcastle will get the job done.
I mean, obviously there's no team news in yet. Do you think he'll play Isaac and Wilson together from the start?
Well, I personally would do it, but because of the fact it's Arsenal, we haven't actually played them together from the get-go, I don't think we'll do it. I think we'll stick with the same formation, and I think it'll be a case that second or let's say Arsenal are battered Newcastle first time, you put them both on together. So it's a case where I think he'll fluctuate in how the game's going for Newcastle. I don't think he'll start them both together.
I mean, Arsenal got a few injury worries at the back. Gabriel may not be fit as well. Obviously, Saliba's out. Maybe a good opportunity to throw them two at us, and because obviously the atmosphere as well could be the way to go for Newcastle, maybe.
Well, yeah, it would make a lot of sense for Newcastle. I think we've got St Maximin back as well now, attacking.
Is he?
Yeah, Saliba's a big miss for Arsenal. I think Gabriel, I imagine he will be fine. I know he came off with the Chelsea game, but I think he's alright, to be honest. I think that's probably mind games more than anything. But obviously Saliba's a really big miss for us, and Newcastle, we've got to be able to get into the fence. We've got to really be able to put the pressure on. I think from minute one, as long as we have a good start of the game, I really fancy Newcastle to give Arsenal a hard time with it.
Do you think you're going to get top four then now?
I think so, yeah. I backed us after the last couple of games. As I said before, Newcastle only needs 7 points. We could still lose this game and lose at home to Brighton, win 2 matches and draw against Chelsea last game of the season. You got Champions League football. That's how close we are now. But obviously for us, though, we don't want it to go down last game. I said it before, we get at least 1 point a day. All we've got to do is win 2 games. We've got some very winnable games coming up. So it's up to Newcastle now to get the job done. Fingers crossed, though. I wish you all the best no matter what happens today, but I'm going to back us.
A point's not enough for us anyway, really. We have to win, don't we? Yeah, with me today, great Newcastle YouTuber. Looking ahead to the game. What are your thoughts on the game today for Newcastle?
To be honest with you, I fancied this game today. At first I was nervous. I might be nervous coming close to the game in a game like this, but I'm confident we're going to get something out of this game today because we're playing so well, Richard. We're winning games at home. We're in a position now we can just push on and get that top 4. I've just spoke to Adam. 7 points, majestic 7 points would be definitely enough to get us Champions League. I do think 2 more wins, in my opinion, will get us through there yet.
So today, obviously, it's a big game for both clubs, isn't it? Arsenal need to win. Yeah. You guys need a result as well. How do you think it's going to play out?
For me, I think we should go for a win today, just get the job done and just get it wrapped up for that top 4. I would get it done quickly if possible. The thing is, you said you need to win your game. A draw's going to be enough for you. A draw might be a good point in the block, but we don't draw games that much. Yeah, we win games, play to win. But if we play well, like we have been, then we win this game. But we've got to start. We can't concede early goals and they expect to win the game. That's what we've been doing out there. However, our confidence in this team, but I just hope Sven Botman starts today because I think it's going to be a mistake if he doesn't play today.
Has he been injured, has he?
I don't know what's happened. He has been training a couple of days apparently, so nothing has been said. We've got to find out this team line up in a bit.
Okay. Obviously the big threat for us is your front two, Wilson and Isaac, both scoring goals. Do you think they'll both start?
I like to see them both start, but this is Eddie on the back, you know what I mean? I just like to start with one. If Sean Longstaff comes in the day, Joe Linton play on the left, and I'm pretty sure Isaac can start up front, and Callum Wilson has to make way for the sub again. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be scared to death for Callum Wilson, because what he did last season, he absolutely tore you apart.
Yeah,
he really did.
He did, yeah. Do you think Joe Willock might play then? Obviously, our ex-Arsenal player.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he's been playing well for the last couple of games. Going back to the old Joe Willock I like to see. But we've get some more goals again, and I love Joe Willock. I think he's been absolutely fantastic on Eddie Howe. I think he's changed his game. He's a young lad, he's 23, and if he carries on the way he is, he may get a place in the England team.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be.
It would be really good. We'll see what happens with that. Score prediction and yourself today, what are you thinking?
I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle, but I think our home form will carry us over, our fan base, the fans here in the stadium will carry us over, but we have got to start well, we have got to score first. But at the end of the day, right, we've got to keep doing what we've been doing best. Score goals, attack, win games.
Let's see what happens. Thanks for that, John.
Thank you, Richard.
Enjoy the game.
You, my guy.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So I'm here with one of my favourite Newcastle YouTubers, Paul from the Team Review. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Looking forward to it.
What are your thoughts ahead of the game today? Obviously, it's a big game for both teams.
It is. From an Arsenal point of view, I don't know what team's going to turn up. I mean, you know, I've seen you be dreadful this season, but I've also seen you be absolutely superb. And I genuinely thought and hoped you were going to win the league. It would have been nice for somebody different to win the league. And if anyone was going to win it out of the three that were up there, it was Arsenal we wanted. Having said that, it's not over yet. Fat Lady hasn't sung, but you know, today we've got something to play for, and that's kind of what swings it for me. You know, we've been playing so well. I think the first half is important for us that we start well, because if we don't, I think you guys could well make it very difficult. But if we start well, it could be a different game.
I mean, obviously you started well against Tottenham a few weeks ago, which we enjoyed.
I thought you might.
But I mean, we've tended to start well away from home recently and then faded in afterwards, and we threw away points. And I think today the first goal could be important, couldn't it? I think whoever scores first gets the lead, especially if it's you guys with a crowd as well. Could be a really tough day for us, couldn't it?
Well, speaking to a lot of fans today, I think a lot of people are talking about the first goal and how important that might be. I'm very surprised that the Arsenal fans that I've spoken to have been very sort of, well, just, I don't even know why they've turned up, to be honest, if they think it's going to go the way they thought. But, you know, Arsenal are one of them teams that they can blow anybody away when they're on the game. They've got some fantastic players, as have we. You know, I mean, you know, Odegaard and Bruno in midfield today that's going to be a good battle. You know, but I think it depends who's on your team sheet. You know, if the back two centre-backs are Holden and whatever his name is, that's the one. I think it makes the world of difference to how the game's going to go. Yeah,
that would worry me if we've got Holding and Kyrgios as our two centre-backs against your front line, especially as I've heard Maxi might be back as well for you guys, which is, again, a danger for us. But
I don't think he'll start. I think I've seen him, he's in there today, he's come in, so I don't know whether he'll be in the squad or not, but he's had a couple of training sessions. I think the best we can ask for Maxi is the bench, but
he's not a bad player to come on, is he?
Not a bad impact player, and if he doesn't go with Wilson and Isak in the same starting 11, then one of them's going to be on the bench as well. So our bench has dramatically improved as the season's gone on, because that was wet as toilet roll, you know, earlier in the season.
We've got the opposite problem in a way. Our bench maybe isn't quite strong enough in depth. We've got 2 or 3 decent players on the bench. Trossard probably on the bench today, Jorginho. So we have got some quality there, but it does worry me with your attack, the way you've been playing at home as well. We've only lost 1 game all season here. I think the crowd make a big difference, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's... Sorry, somebody's shouting out the team in the back. Isak and Wilson are playing together.
They are?
Yeah. Peter he's just got the team he's in there, so Longstaff's not playing, so Isak and Wilson are in the same 11. That's interesting for me. I didn't expect them to do that.
That's not good news, as far as I'm concerned.
It's not good news for Arsenal. I can understand that, but at the same time, look, Arsenal have got to come prepared. I mean, they'll know from the end that the last game of last season here, when we just made you look very ordinary, and you're not ordinary. You know, I'll be the first one to say that. Arsenal, I've said it, they've got some wonderful players, and they've been a joy to watch most of this season. But I think, you know, when you've had a blow like you did at the Etihad, and then, you know, you see Man City just keep winning, and you just can't see where they're going to drop points and things like that. I just wonder what it does to the players in the dressing room. You know, whether they think, you know, do we want to go out and really go full force from the off, or do we still want to prove to these fans that we're fighting? You know, it's all in the mentality of the players.
And that is my biggest concern for Arsenal, has been the mentality. Last season, the top 4 was in our hands. Obviously, we lost here, we lost at Tottenham, blew that. This year, the title was in our hands a few weeks ago. We've been dropping points. Now we've got a really, really big test today against a very good Newcastle side, and you need the points as well.
That's what makes it interesting. The fact that both teams still have something to play for, and it's very rare at this point in the season where you get teams with everything to play for. You know, we last season had just escaped relegation, and now we're fighting for Champions League. We've got 1 foot in the door. It's absolutely bizarre. You know, Arteta last season, people wanting him out, and then he's challenging for the title this season. So I think fans have all got to be patient. You know, I know you weren't a big advocate of Arteta. I don't know whether you still am or not, but I think he's done brilliantly for you this season, but is he the one to take you to the next level? And we keep getting asked that about Eddie Howe as well.
Yeah.
You know, saying, oh, you know, you get pundits coming on saying, oh, you know, these managers are available, Newcastle should go to him. Why? You know, Eddie Howe has took us into the Champions League position from relegation when he took over.
In 18 months.
You just don't seem to get an opportunity as managers these days to prove yourselves, but it's a cutthroat business, but I'm sure it's going to be a cracker today. And there's going to be goals, there's no doubt about that. There always is, apart from the Emirates earlier this season when I don't think Arteta was happy with our tactics, but we have to do what we have to do. Any team does. But I'm expecting a cracker. So, I mean, I said 2-2 on my preview show. My head says 2-2. My heart wants like 3-1 or something, obviously, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, good luck for the game, and hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully we'll see you in the Champions League next season.
Absolutely.
In the group, not in the group stage, but in the knockout stage.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rick.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you later.